We've got everything removed up here. Air conditioner's gone, refrigerator vent, fans, skylights. We're gonna start removing the roofing material, and I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to peel it off in large chunks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and just probably cut around these termination points for now, and then I'm gonna get all this and then removed, and then I will come back and start scraping off lap sealant and trying to get those off of there. So that's what we're gonna do at this point. Took about 15 minutes total. You can see some of the debris left behind. This is just like a flaky stuff, but anyways, I'm gonna hop down off of here and we're gonna start looking at taking off all of the trim that holds it on around the edges, front and rear, and we'll see what that looks like and get going on that. Just to give you an idea of what I deal with, the dog that you always hear barking, let me give you an idea where he's at. That's right. He climbs a ladder. I'm not talking about a ladder, I'm talking about like straight up and down ladder. Where he can see over my fence, and he gives me the business when I'm out here working. So every once in a while he'll go back inside through his doggy door, but then he'll come right back out and start giving me fits. My apologies. I've tried to reason with him, but he does not budge. He is not up for negotiations. All right, so I'm gonna start removing these termination plates, or whatever you wanna call them. They've got a lot of lap sealant all around, which I'm gonna have to dig out. And they've got this little waterproof little insert that I'm gonna strip out. I've got some replacement that I'm gonna put back in there to hopefully waterproof those screw heads. Anyways, let me rip this apart here and we will get going on working our way around this thing. I don't know how long it's gonna take. We'll keep an eye on it. It's noon, so let's see how long it's gonna take to get all these off here. All right, it took a minute to get this thing going. It's like rotten. Now it's coming out pretty easy. Oh yeah, look at that. Didn't even have to move my ladder. Not too bad. Real quick before we get going, this tool, 5-in-1, 4-in-1, whatever you want to call it, I buy the Bates Choice. These things are awesome. If you don't have one, you need to get one. You can poke, you can pry, you can cut, you can use it as a putty knife, you can use it as whatever. I use the snot out of these. I'll put the link down below. But let me tell you, if you don't have one for the price, I mean, just trust me, you can use it for a lot of different things. So if you don't have one, be sure to get one, make your life a lot easier. Especially just simple things like getting the corner of these going, which can be very difficult because of how rotten it is. Works great, and that little point allows me to work down through there if I need to get stuff pried out. So again, great tool. Pick one up if you don't have one. Make your life much easier. Real quick, I just started working my way through these. Man, look at the rust on those. Yeah, my hands are dirty. I apologize. I've been working, okay? Look at that. That does not give me much confidence in terms of what's gonna be inside this. So I'm gonna get the rest of these pulled off, and then I'll check back in with you once we start pulling this piece off. All right, we'll get all these bits out. It's time to see if we can get this off without tearing it up. Doesn't look like it'll be a problem at all, so. We're gonna pull the rest of this off. I'm gonna need both hands, so, and then we'll go from there. Keep working our way around. there is some rust around this. Oh, let me readjust here. And it's a little concerning, but I think, I don't know, it's around a lot of these staples. So I don't know if there was just condensation in there and, you know, like it would rust around these staples or not, but let's see. I don't really see any wood rot. I know there'll be some back in here, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this trim off. I know I've said that like 3 times, but let's go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna piddle with anything else until we get all of that off and we can get a good assessment of what's going on. So I may have to pull off these verticals as well, just based on some of the damage that's gonna be under there. But let's get down off here. I need to quit talking and focus and get some of this done. All right, so I've got that trim piece, those termination strips pulled off on the sides and the back. The front's got a little bit different configuration because that front cap rolls over the front top of the roof, so I'm gonna address that later. So now I'm gonna work on these corners and getting these pieces off of here. All right, I've got this back corner piece off. It looks like, now that the screws are out, there were some staples that were kind of holding it in place, probably just to allow them to get those corner pieces on there. So, and as I was looking down, there were a few more staples into that occasionally through the aluminum siding. So we're gonna have access now to the wood behind there, and you can see there's some of these staples that are gonna have to be pulled out. Look at that, how rotten that is. It's moving the whole thing. So yeah, we're gonna get on that. Let me regroup here, drink a little coffee, and then we'll catch up with it in a minute. I'm working on this termination strip up front, and these screw heads are proven to be a little bit of a pain. The lap sealant's so old, I'm having a hard time getting it off there, so I'm having to dig each one out individually. So that's the current status. I'm gonna have to do that for the duration of the length, which could take a little bit of time. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to just dig all these out individually, go ahead and screw those off, see if I can get these undone on the ends here, and then we'll see if we can peel this thing back a little bit. I was mentioning on one of the earlier videos how much I like this little 4-in-1 or 5-in-1, whatever you want to call it, but it's proven to be really, really handy yet again. So it's making light work of the lap sealant that's around those screw heads, so I'm actually making pretty good progress getting these out. Okay, let's see if we can get this gently pulled up. I think underneath this termination strip, the siding is stapled into the plywood. So you have the decking, the rubber membrane, the siding, which is stapled in there. Then you have this strip, which is screwed in. So I'm just gonna go through here real gently and pry that up to make sure I don't damage anything, but I wanna be able to get this up all the way across. So just continuing on with this, prying it up gently. The siding is stapled to the decking, but it's coming loose pretty easily. You also have the adhesive from the roofing material that's stuck to the plywood, so we're kind of peeling everything off in layers. Here you go, we got this peeled up. You can see the insulation under here. The wood's all good. We're gonna have to clean up. There's some staples that are left over. You can see them from place to place. So I'm gonna go through here, get all of that cleaned up. I need to get this strip off of here still, and then this roofing material. You can see how far it went under there. It ended here. This is underneath the siding, and then it went another, 4 or 5 inches beyond that, kind of overlapping the insulation and all that good stuff. So we're just going to replicate what they had from a factory when we put this back on.